Hola and welcome to Pro Spanish. Today's video is a bit special as it has 3 parts. You'll be able to experience firsthand just how quickly you can become conversationally fluent in Spanish, and that's coming up in a second. Then we have something new and exciting for all those who have completed Level 1 of the Pro Spanish course. It's the first lesson of a new topic vocabulary course which is in development now, and you'll see it's just another great way to quickly expand your language. And of course, our more advanced subscribers can skip forward to the time frame that comes up now, or stay with us for some extra practice. Okay, we'll start off with some straightforward vocabulary. Volver is to return. To return. Think of, if it had RE before it, it'd be like revolve, and revolve is going round and coming back. So volver is to return, but we can also use it for to go back and to come back. So volver, to return, go back, come back. Hacer algo is to do something. Hacer algo, to do something. And if you're new to Pro Spanish, don't worry about trying to remember these words now or trying to memorize them. The English, the meaning is there for as long as you need it, and bit by bit you'll automatically learn all of this without really having to make too much effort. Okay, so hacer algo, to do something. So obviously algo is something. Hablar, nice and easy. So hablar is to speak, like blah blah blah. Hablar, to speak. Contigo, with you. To speak with you. Hablar contigo. In the UK we tend to say to speak to you, but in Spanish it's to speak with you. Hablar contigo. Pedir is to order. It also means to ask for something, but we'll just keep it simple and use it mainly for order, as in ordering something online or ordering something in a restaurant. Pedir, to order. Ir al gimnasio. I bet you can guess that. Ir al gimnasio is to go to the gym. Ir al gimnasio, to go to the gymnasium. And finally, cenar, to have dinner. Doesn't actually have the word have in there. It's to dine. Cenar is to dine. We would say to have dinner. They would say to dine. Cenar. And before we move on, let's just get a bit of an overview of this column here. So we said hacer algo was to do something. What do you think to order something would be? To order something. Pedir algo. Pedir algo. To order something. We can see that hablar contigo was to speak with you. Contigo, with you. How would we say to have dinner with you? Cenar contigo. Cenar contigo. Okay, let's move along. Ahora is now. We have the word there for hour, like 1 hour, 2 hours. Hora. Hora is hour. Ahora, now, like this hour. Ahora, now. And then we have primero. Primero is nice and easy to remember. First. Primero is first. So just looking at those 2 columns for a minute. How would you say to have dinner first? Cenar primero. Cenar primero. What would it be for to speak with you now? Hablar contigo ahora. Hablar contigo ahora. Okay, let's go to our starting point, our starting column. I need. Necesito. Nice and easy. Necesito. I need. I want is quiero. Quiero. Not quiero, as the school children often say. Quiero. I want. Suelo is a really useful one. Suelo can be used to say I tend to do something, in the sense of I usually do this. So I usually do something, or I tend to do something. Suelo. Suelo. No puedo. No puedo. We can see straight away it's a negative. No. No puedo. I can't. No puedo. I can't. What do you think I can would be? Puedo. So puedo is I can. I can't. No puedo. Now you shouldn't be feeling overwhelmed by the quantity of all this, because you're not being expected to memorize it. Just go with the flow of the lesson and you'll see how you'll learn it. Next one is really useful. Acabo de. Acabo de is used for I've just done something. Acabo de. I've just. Intenté. Intenté is I tried. So we're talking about the past now. I tried. You can see their intent, which helps us remember. I tried. Intenté. I decided. Decidí. Decidí. I decided. Also quite easy to remember. Decidí. I decided. And finally, we'll have a question. Do you want? Do you want? ¿Quieres? ¿Quieres? And then whatever it might be. Do you want? Okay, let's look back to no puedo. I can't. I no can. No puedo. How do you think you would say I don't want? So look at I want, quiero. I don't want is no quiero. No quiero. No want. How about I don't need? What would that be? No necesito. No necesito. What about I didn't decide? What would that be? I didn't decide. No decidí. No decidí. Okay, on to phase one of getting you using this language. Listen to the sentences that I say. Follow along the table and try to work out what it means. If you need to, make sure that you pause the video to give yourself some thinking time. Quiero hacer algo ahora. Quiero hacer algo ahora. I want to do something now. Next one. No puedo hablar contigo ahora. No puedo hablar contigo ahora. I can't, I know can, I can't speak with you now. Decidí ir al gimnasio primero. Decidí ir al gimnasio primero. I decided to go to the gym first. Suelo volver primero. Suelo volver primero. I tend to come back first, or I tend to return first. It would be more likely to say come back. So I usually come back first, or I tend to come back first. ¿Quieres pedir primero? ¿Quieres pedir primero? Do you want to order first? Acabo de pedir ahora. Acabo de pedir ahora. I've just ordered now. I've just ordered now. Quiero volver ahora. Quiero volver ahora. I want to go back or come back first. Intenté hablar contigo. Intenté hablar contigo. I tried to speak to you, or I tried to speak with you. We'll just take a pause there while I mention our very popular Levels 1 to 6 course. This takes the complete beginner or a near beginner right up to a conversational level of Spanish in a series of very easy to follow steps. All the lessons on this YouTube channel are supplementary, whereas the core Levels 1 to 6 is very much a step-by-step program delivered by the same teacher as all the other videos on the Pro Spanish YouTube channel. And while the style is very similar to what you'll be used to from these videos on the channel, the key difference is that every lesson carefully builds on the previous lessons so that you can really feel that progress of going from very little or no Spanish up to a level where you can confidently hold a conversation in Spanish. So again, that's available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk. Okay, now on to the second phase. Using the table, say the sentences in Spanish. Use the table on the screen as much as you want, but if possible, as you become more confident, try to look away as much as possible. Okay, first one. I need to speak with you now. Make sure that you pause the video if you need to give yourself thinking time. Necesito hablar contigo ahora. Necesito hablar contigo ahora. How about, I can't go to the gym now. No puedo ir al gimnasio ahora. No puedo ir al gimnasio ahora. I've just ordered now. Acabo de pedir ahora. Acabo de pedir ahora. I decided to have dinner first. Decidí cenar primero. Decidí cenar primero. How about this one? I tend to go to the gym first. Suelo ir al gimnasio primero. Suelo ir al gimnasio primero. Do you want to do something now? ¿Quieres hacer algo ahora? ¿Quieres hacer algo ahora? I don't want to speak to you. No quiero hablar contigo. No quiero hablar contigo. I've just had dinner now. Acabo de cenar ahora. Acabo de cenar ahora. How about this? I need to order now. Necesito pedir ahora. Necesito pedir ahora. And for this next phase, we're going to build up our sentences, getting them longer and longer. You can still refer to the table, or, as I mentioned before, try to ease yourself off it. Okay, I need. Necesito. I need to do something. You can see we're building this up. I need to do something. Necesito hacer algo. I need to do something first. Necesito hacer algo primero. Once more. Necesito hacer algo primero. Okay, so now you have the idea. That'll be getting a little bit more complex. I don't need. No necesito. I don't need to go back. To return. No necesito volver. I don't need to go back now. No necesito volver ahora. I don't need to go back now. Do you want? No necesito volver ahora. ¿Quieres? I don't need to go back now. Do you want to have dinner? No necesito volver ahora. ¿Quieres cenar? No necesito volver ahora. ¿Quieres cenar? Okay, the next one. I can't. No puedo. I can't speak with you or speak to you. No puedo hablar contigo. I can't speak to you now. No puedo hablar contigo ahora. I can't speak to you now. I need. No puedo hablar contigo ahora. Necesito. I can't speak to you now. I need to do something. No puedo hablar contigo ahora. Necesito hacer algo. Again. No puedo hablar contigo ahora. Necesito hacer algo. Okay, the next one in this phase. I decided. Decidí. Decidí. I decided to have dinner. Decidí cenar. I decided to have dinner. I've just. Decidí cenar. Acabo de. I decided to have dinner. I've just ordered. Decidí cenar. Acabo de pedir. I decided to have dinner. I've just ordered now. Decidí cenar. Acabo de pedir ahora. Decidí cenar. Acabo de pedir ahora. So we've covered an awful lot in just 20 minutes, and you should have an idea now of just how quickly you can learn Spanish with this kind of approach, because we just keep expanding out from this step by step until you reach a level where you're conversationally fluent. And before we move on to the next section of this course, a quick reminder again that the Levels 1 to 6 course is available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk. And what we have coming up now is going to be incredibly useful for all of you who have completed Level 1 of the Pro Spanish course. It's from our topic vocabulary course, which is in development now, and you'll see it's another way to expand your vocabulary and have more language ready for conversation. We'll start with the central column, as it's quite straightforward. So, en una casa. En una casa, in a house. En un apartamento. In an apartment, in a flat. En un pueblo. In a village or a smallish town. So pueblo has a wider definition than in English. It can be a bit bigger than a village. En un edificio moderno. En un edificio moderno. So edificio, like edifice, it's a building. In a building, and we say in a building modern. In a building modern. En un edificio moderno. Let's go to the final column now. Again, fairly straightforward. En Londres. En Londres, in London. En Nueva York. In New York. Cerca de Alicante. Near Alicante. Although it might help us to translate it as near to. I mean, more literally in Spanish it says near of Alicante. But if we say near to, we'll remember that it's cerca de, not just cerca. Cerca is nearby. Cerca de is near to somewhere. So cerca de Alicante, near to Alicante. Cerca de la costa, near to the coast. En el campo, in the countryside. En el campo, in the countryside. A 10 minutos del centro. 10 minutes from the center. We could say 10 minutes away from the center, and that helps us remember the first a. A 10 minutos. A 10 minutos is 10 minutes away. Del centro, from the center. From, sometimes we would say, especially in the UK, from town. 10 minutes from town. 10 minutes away from town. A 10 minutos del centro. En las afueras de Liverpool. On the outskirts. Fuera means out or outside. Afueras, the outskirts. On the outskirts of Liverpool. En las afueras de Liverpool. And our first column contains structures from level 1. So things we should already know. Vivo, I live. Vivo, I live. Vivimos, we live. Quiero vivir. I want to live. Quiero vivir. Of course, we could have lots more, but our main aim here is to expand our fluency around this topic vocabulary. Okay, so just listen and follow the table along and work out what's being said. Vivo en un pueblo cerca de la costa. Vivo en un pueblo cerca de la costa. I live in a village, small town, near the coast. Near to the coast. Quiero vivir en un edificio moderno en Nueva York. Quiero vivir en un edificio moderno en Nueva York. I want to live in a modern building in New York. Vivimos en un apartamento a 10 minutos del centro. Vivimos en un apartamento a 10 minutos del centro. We live in an apartment 10 minutes away from the center, from town. Vivo en una casa cerca de Alicante. Vivo en una casa cerca de Alicante. I live in a house near to Alicante. Vivimos en un pueblo en el campo. Vivimos en un pueblo en el campo. We live in a village, small town, in the countryside. Okay, now let's try it the other way around. Use the table for as much support as you want. Whenever you're able to, then look away, and of course pause the video if you need to give yourself some extra thinking time. I live in a house near the coast. Vivo en una casa cerca de la costa. Vivo en una casa cerca de la costa. I want to live in an apartment in London. Quiero vivir en un apartamento en Londres. Quiero vivir en un apartamento en Londres. We live in a modern building 10 minutes from the centre, or 10 minutes away from the centre. Vivimos en un edificio moderno a 10 minutos del centro. Vivimos en un edificio moderno a 10 minutos del centro. I live in a village or small town near to Alicante. Vivo en un pueblo cerca de Alicante. Vivo en un pueblo cerca de Alicante. I don't want to live on the outskirts of Liverpool. No quiero vivir en las afueras de Liverpool. No quiero vivir en las afueras de Liverpool. And of course, if you have someone you can practice with, then you can continue this. For this next part, we're going to expand out and include some more of the structures that you've learnt in level 1. It's fine to continue using the table for support or move away from it, whatever works best for you. And we're just going to build up our sentences. So first of all, what's it's? Es. It's a modern building. Es un edificio moderno. Es un edificio moderno. It's a modern building on the outskirts of Madrid. Es un edificio moderno en las afueras de Madrid. Es un edificio moderno en las afueras de Madrid. Okay, next one. Do you live? Vives. Do you live near to London? ¿Vives cerca de Londres? ¿Vives cerca de Londres? Okay, next one. He lives. Vive. Vive. He lives in a village. Vive en un pueblo. He lives in a village 10 minutes away from the center, from the town center. Vive en un pueblo a 10 minutos del centro. Vive en un pueblo a 10 minutos del centro. Next. To live. Vivir. Vivir. I'm going to live. Voy a vivir. Voy a vivir. I'm going to live in the countryside. Voy a vivir en el campo. Voy a vivir en el campo. The final one. I don't know. No sé. No sé. I don't know if. No sé si. No sé si. I don't know if they live. No sé si viven. No sé si viven. I don't know if they live near to London. No sé si viven cerca de Londres. No sé si viven cerca de Londres. Y ahora, para la parte más avanzada de este vídeo, vamos a empezar con unos verbos. Venir a casa, to come home. Volver, to return, go back, come back. Terminar, to finish or to end. Hacer la cena, to make the dinner. Responder, to reply or to respond. Llamar a Lucía, to call Lucía. Sacar dinero, to take out money, to withdraw money. And then we'll have ahora, and muy útil, lo antes posible. As soon as possible, lo antes posible. Y vamos a empezar con tiene que. Tiene que. He or she has to. Esto es bastante fácil, pero es solo nuestro punto de comienzo. Entonces, ¿cómo se puede decir she has to come home as soon as possible? Tiene que venir a casa lo antes posible. Tiene que venir a casa lo antes posible. He has to call Lucía now. Tiene que llamar a Lucía ahora. Tiene que llamar a Lucía ahora. He has to come back as soon as possible. Tiene que volver lo antes posible. Tiene que volver lo antes posible. She has to reply now. Tiene que responder ahora. Tiene que responder ahora. He has to take out money or take out some money now. Tiene que sacar dinero ahora. Tiene que sacar dinero ahora. Vale, bastante sencillo hasta ahora. So quite straightforward so far. También hay otra forma muy común para expresar esta estructura. En inglés no es tan común, pero se traduce, so there's another quite common way of expressing the structures that we've just looked at. Not so common when it's translated into English, but it's something like, let him call Lucía now, or have him call Lucía now. Let her reply as soon as possible. Have her reply as soon as possible. So it's the idea of he or she must, but that's not actually expressed. La estructura empieza con que y después el subjuntivo presente. Un ejemplo. que venga a casa ahora. Que venga a casa ahora. Have him come home now. He must come home now. He should come home now. Let him come home now. No hay una muy buena traducción de esto. There's not a great translation of this, because often we would just say he has to or he should. But if we were to translate it more literally, it would be have him come home now. He is to come home now. So it's que and the phrase in the present subjunctive. Entonces, vamos a cambiar las frases anteriores al subjuntivo. Y no voy a explicar otra vez la forma del subjuntivo. So I'm not going to go through the formation of the subjunctive again. It's explained in this video here. Se explica aquí en este video. And if you're wondering why I'm swapping between English and Spanish, is that not everybody is at the level where they can follow the whole lesson in Spanish. So I'm doing some recaps in English. Bueno, entonces vamos a poner estas frases en el subjuntivo. Entonces, venga a casa, vuelva, termine, haga la cena, responda, llame a Lucía, saque dinero. Y claro, tenemos que al principio. Entonces, ¿cómo se dice? Have him make the dinner now. Que haga la cena ahora. Que haga la cena ahora. Have her call Lucía as soon as possible. Que llame a Lucía lo antes posible. Que llame a Lucía lo antes posible. He needs to finish now. Que termine ahora. Que termine ahora. Have her take out some money as soon as possible. Que saque dinero lo antes posible. Que saque dinero lo antes posible. Y esta estructura es muy útil, porque podemos poner otras cosas antes. Por ejemplo, dile, so tell him or tell her, dile que venga a casa ahora. Tell him to come home now. Tell him that he must come home now. Dile que haga la cena lo antes posible. Tell him to make the dinner as soon as possible. ¿Cómo sería? Tell him to call Lucy now. Dile que llame a Lucía ahora. Dile que llame a Lucía ahora. Tell her to come back as soon as possible. Dile que vuelva lo antes posible. Dile que vuelva lo antes posible. Tell her to reply now. Dile que responda ahora. Dile que responda ahora. Tell him to finish as soon as possible. Dile que termine lo antes posible. Dile que termine lo antes posible. And that concludes today's Pro Spanish lesson. As mentioned earlier, if you're looking to become a confident and a competent speaker of Spanish, head over to prospanish.co.uk.